The Misery. Once upon a time, in a small, forgotten village nestled between mist-covered mountains and dense, foreboding forests, there lived a community gripped by perpetual misery. The air hung heavy with sorrow, and the sun rarely dared to pierce through the thick, gray clouds that seemed eternally fixed over the village. The misery was not born from a single source but rather a culmination of tragedies that had befallen the villagers. Crops failed year after year, leaving the once fertile fields barren and desolate. A mysterious illness swept through the village, taking loved ones away in the prime of their lives. The once thriving marketplace, where laughter and lively chatter echoed, now stood deserted, its stalls vacant and lifeless. In the heart of the village lived a woman named Alara, whose eyes reflected the collective sorrow of the community. She moved through each day with a heavy heart, her steps weighed down by the burdens of loss and despair. Alara had once been a beacon of hope, known for her infectious laughter and unwavering optimism. But the relentless hardships had stolen that light from her, leaving behind a mere shadow of the vibrant woman she used to be. One gloomy evening, as the villagers huddled in their homes, trying to find solace in the warmth of flickering candlelight, Alara sat alone in her humble abode. The walls, worn and weary, seemed to echo the silent cries of the village. Desperation etched across her face, Alara decided that she could no longer bear the weight of her people's misery. With a flicker of determination in her eyes, she rose from her chair and stepped out into the cold, unforgiving night. The villagers, wrapped in the shroud of despair, watched as Alara walked to the village center, where a dilapidated fountain stood as a monument to better days. Underneath the desolate sky, Alara raised her voice, a voice that trembled with a mixture of grief and newfound resolve. She spoke of the village's history, of the strength that once coursed through its veins. Her words, like a gentle breeze, began to stir the hearts of those who listened. A glimmer of hope flickered in the eyes of the villagers, a spark that had long been extinguished. As days turned into weeks, Alara became a beacon of inspiration. Together, the villagers started to rebuild what was lost. They tended to the barren fields, seeking solace in the act of nurturing new life. The marketplace, once abandoned, slowly regained its vibrancy as traders and craftsmen returned. The darkness that had shrouded the village began to lift, revealing the first rays of sunlight the villagers had seen in years. With each sunrise, the weight of misery lessened, and the community discovered a strength that had been dormant within them. And so, the tale of the village, once steeped in misery, transformed into a story of resilience and renewal. Alara, once consumed by despair, had become the catalyst for change, proving that even in the bleakest of times, the human spirit could rise above the shadows and embrace the light of hope.